Hi, Jessie. What are you up to? I was about to head to my evening shift. What's up, Mom? Is everything okay? Was there some kind of emergency? Oh, no. Nothing like that, honey. I just wanted to talk to you a little bit about the money you were sending back to us. Is that okay? OMG, Mom. Not again. What do you mean, not again? Don't act like you weren't expecting this. Last time we talked about this, you weren't listening at all, were you? I need this to survive, you know. Look, Mom, I told you. I'm strapped enough as it is. I can't send any more money back, okay? I'm trying, but you know how it is. Caregivers don't make that much. Can you please just wait a bit longer until my next paycheck? Don't try and weasel your way out of this, young lady. I've seen the place you work, and it's swanky as heck. I mean, the people who come here are rich, but that doesn't mean I get to see that money. It all goes to the top brass. I'm working here because I enjoy it, not because of how much I make. It's been 8 years since you graduated that community college and started working there, isn't it? Don't you get wage increases there or something? I've had to get a bunch of certifications since I started here. I only just started making enough to really support myself recently. Can't you spare a thought for your poor, aging mother? I can't even quit my part-time job on just $700 a month. I've been busting my butt for so long. I just want to retire and take it easy from now on. I'm tired of boxing up chocolates every day. I want to be the one eating those chocolates from now on. I should have the right to a life of luxury after taking care of you for so long. Mom, I'm already taking on a lot of shifts. I'm physically at my limit. Any more than this and I'll actually explode. Have you thought about a job change then? Maybe something a bit more lucrative. Huh? Like what? Did you have something in mind? Well, you're still old enough to be an escort, right? Put some makeup on your face and you'll fit right in. If we're doing all these night shifts anyway, why not do something that'll give you a bit more pocket change? Mom! That's disgusting! I can't believe you're even suggesting that. I finally got enough certs to be able to make a comfortable wage, too. I'm not gonna just throw that all away for a quick buck to line your pockets. Sure, maybe I'd make more entertaining clients at some seedy club, but I like my job. Maybe it doesn't pay the best, but at least it's safe. I mean, working at a club, you'll still get to take care of people's needs, right? It's basically the same thing. Except instead of old people, it's drunk guys. Honestly, though, what's the difference? Can we please talk about literally anything else? Whatever. Just remember, it's your duty as a daughter to support your dear mother in her old age. I raised you by my own hand, so the least you could do is pay back all the money I spent keeping you alive and healthy. You did raise me, but it was barely by your own hand. You weren't even home half the time. Grandma was the one who was always with me. And she was the one who helped put me through community college. Not you. Oh, details, details. Who's keeping track of that stuff anyway? Besides, Grandma wasn't the one who went through all the pain of having you, now was she? That was all me. And you owe me for that. Well, when you put it like that, I guess. But when I was in 5th grade, you didn't come home for an entire year. I was young then, though. We all do things we regret in our youth, you know. You'll find that out soon enough. After I got divorced from your father, I was single and ready to mingle. And mingle I most certainly did. The boys loved me even more than they did when I was younger. Too bad none of them were willing to put a ring on it, though. Whatever. You're just lucky Grandma was there to take care of me. If I didn't have her to help, what do you think would have happened? I might have not been able to go to school at all. I don't think about what-ifs, honey. Just be thankful you were able to get an education and leave it at that. Too bad she's not around anymore to help me out. You could at least visit your own mother's grave once in a blue moon. She passed away 4 years ago, and you've been, what, once or twice? I'll go. Jeez, I'm your mother. I'm supposed to be the one nagging you. It's not like her grave is going anywhere. And besides, you know how busy I am since I have to work so hard. No thanks to my ungrateful daughter. Aren't you thankful for her at all? She basically had to raise you and me, you know. Thankful? For what? Every time I saw her, all she did was lecture me about this or that. She always had a stick up her butt. What kind of mother does that to her own daughter? Well, I'm thankful she was around at least. Maybe there's a reason she was always mad at you. I send money back home to you every month, too. Isn't that good enough to pay you back for all your hard work? I don't think I like your tone, young lady. You shouldn't talk back to your mother. I only want the best for you. You know that, right? Somehow, I'm not convinced. Jessie, please! I love you. Like, take that horrible scar on your right hand, for example. Any man who sees that is gonna go running in terror, right? It keeps me up at night thinking about it. It's a bad omen, too. I'm worried you won't be able to settle down and get married because of that ugly thing. That's why you gotta earn while you're still young and can still make the big bucks. That horrible scar was from when you dropped scalding hot water on me and gave me second-degree burns. It was your fault. I know that, okay? You don't have to keep reminding me. How many times do I have to apologize? It was an accident. Mommy had a little too much to drink that day, okay? And these things happen sometimes. That was pretty bad, though. It's not funny. That burn swelled up so bad I was stuck in bed for days. You think it keeps you up at night? I still have nightmares about that time even now. I still can't get a good night's sleep and sometimes I wake up in tears. Oh, please. Why do you have to make a big deal out of every tiny little thing? It's your fault for playing around so close to the stove. How was I supposed to know you'd be there? Really? Because the way I remember it, I was pretty far away from the stove. Wasn't I in a different room? Oh, who's paying attention to that? You were in kindergarten or something then anyway, weren't you? You probably just don't remember, right? It was so long ago. Like I could ever forget. I was traumatized. The nightmares don't go away. OMG, why do you have to make everything my fault? I never said it was your fault, okay? Jeez. I know you were going through a lot back then with the divorce and all, but it was tough on me, too. You and Dad were fighting all the time. Oh, please. You have no idea of all the pain I went through. If you thought you had it bad, just think of your poor mother. I had to work 2 jobs just to put enough food on the table for the both of us. You were running me ragged. And you have the nerve to tell me you had it tough. You're so ungrateful. If I'd known you were going to turn out so selfish, I never would have had you in the first place. I'm going to work now. Bye, Mom. Oh, have a good day. Make sure you keep making that money. If you keep sending back tiny amounts like this, I'm gonna have to start charging you interest. Don't forget how much I've done for you, okay? As long as I'm around, don't think you'll be able to get away from me that easy. Huh. Hi, Mom. Are you doing anything next weekend? What's this? Do my eyes deceive me? An actual text from Jessie. Will I look out the window and see the flying pigs? I don't have any shifts this weekend. I'll just be at home. What's up? Perfect. Then can I come over? There's someone I want to introduce you to. This really must be a dream then. I don't believe it. Don't tell me you're actually getting married. Yep. My poor little girl. I honestly never thought I'd see the day. I don't believe it. Did the guy lose a bet or something? So, can you meet or not? Honestly, I wanted to just skip this entirely, but Phil wouldn't take no for an answer. He told me he wanted to do it right. I'm free, but where is this guy from, anyway? Where is he from? You mean like his hometown? Oh, you know I don't care about that, honey. I mean, what money does he come from, of course? Where'd you meet? What does he do? Okay, well, I met him at work. Oh, so he's just another caregiver then. Are you sure he'll be able to provide for you? I'm worried about your future. Well, I'm not. Anyway, how much he makes isn't really important to me. He's not a caregiver, though. Oh. What is he, then? His name's Bill, and he's the grandson of one of the people I take care of. He'd always come by to visit his grandma, and the two of us kind of just hit it off while he was here. He's just the sweetest guy. Hold on. So that means if his family has enough to afford that swanky old folks' home, they must be filthy, stinking rich. Way to go, Jesse. Maybe this old woman taught you a trick or two after all. Will you shut up about the money? I'm getting married because I love Phil and he's an amazing guy. Not because of how big his family's pockets are. Oh, don't be so modest. It's just you and me here. You don't have to lie about it. If you're gonna throw your life away and get married, you better make sure he's gonna make it worth your while. So, how old is he anyway? And more importantly, how much does he make? We just celebrated his 30th birthday not too long ago. And I never asked him how much he makes, but he did tell me he works for a big trading company. A 30-year-old businessman! Jesse, you dog. You hit the rich guy jackpot! That's my little girl! Guess all that time you spent around my mom taught you exactly what to say to get those old folks eating out of the palm of your hand. I suppose I should head to her grave and thank her after all. Is that the only thing you care about? Besides, you make it sound like I got close to Phil's grandmother just so I could snatch up her rich grandson or something. Phil and I just happened to meet while he was there, okay? And I know he actually loves me for who I am rather than how much I make. Unlike somebody. What's that supposed to mean? Whatever. If you're bringing home someone like that, maybe it was worth all the trouble raising you. That means you'll finally be able to get me some real money every month. For God's sake, Mom. He's not just a frickin' wallet on legs. This is exactly why I didn't want to tell you about him. Anyway, he already proposed and we're gonna have the wedding soon. You lucky girl. Have you decided on the details yet? Spill those deets, girl. When's the big day gonna be? We decided on a wedding day 8 months from now in Hawaii, but we're officially gonna sign the paperwork to be legally married a bit earlier than that. Hawaii? How wonderful. You're bringing me along too, right? Don't tell me you're gonna leave your own mother in the dust. I guess I can't. You're my only family left, after all. I tried to contact Dad, but I couldn't get a hold of him. Why even bother? I wish you'd just forget about that cheapskate loser already. Just thinking about him boils my blood. I mean, you use the family savings to buy one brand name bag and then he walks out on me. The nerve of him, right? Mom, I think you bought a bit more than one bag. You spent so much of our money, you almost got us evicted from our apartment because we could barely even pay a month's worth of rent. Oh yeah. Why do you even bother remembering little details like that? In any case, our days of poverty are over now, huh? OMG. I've barely even left the state, let alone traveled to Hawaii. This is gonna be so exciting. After all these years of strife and pain, Lady Luck finally decides to shine on me. OMG. Please don't say any of that when you meet Phil's family. I knew this was a bad idea. This is gonna be so awkward. Excuse me. I'm always on my best behavior. What did I say that's awkward? Maybe I'm asking the impossible, but can you please just not talk about money for like 5 minutes? Oh, pshaw! They're gonna be family. If you can't turn to them, who can you trust? But you watch out yourself, Jesse. Don't let your guard down. Me? What do I have to worry about? You better make sure that man of yours doesn't get tired of you. Maybe find a nice wedding dress that covers up that hideous scar. It's just so unseemly. You should just try to make sure he never sees it or you're gonna be in trouble. Okay, first of all, it's not unseemly. And second of all, I'll have you know that Phil has seen it and he said he doesn't care. Sometimes when I'm having another terrible nightmare and screaming out in my sleep, Phil even holds that hand and reassures me that everything's gonna be alright. He'd never say any part of me wasn't beautiful. He taught me that inner beauty matters more than anything skin deep and that I shouldn't be ashamed to hide any part of who I am. Wow! Looks like you're not the only master of flattery. They're all just empty words, dear. All men are the same. They only care about women's looks. Inner beauty? At least wear some gloves or something. Inner beauty. Oh, wait! It'll be hot in Hawaii, won't it? I hope your hand won't burn up in there. Don't you have anything else to say to me? Your frickin' daughter is getting married, you know. Aren't you at least going to say a single word of congratulations? Or do you have absolutely nothing positive to say at all like usual? Oh, the mouth on this one. Right. Congratulations, honey. But don't forget about your poor mother either. Hello. Jesse? Are you there? I've been waiting to hear news about this wedding of yours. When are you gonna let your mother know about the trip details? I've got a lot of packing to do, you know. All those cute bathing suits. Can't complain that I gotta talk to my manager and take off some shifts either. The wedding's gonna be in 2 weeks, right? I'm so excited. Don't tell me he's already done with you and broke it off already. Nope. Everything's going as planned. We're already formally married and happily living together. Really? Well, that's a relief. You hadn't contacted me in so long. I was starting to worry that you got dumped and were just too embarrassed to tell me. So everything is going according to plan. Glad to hear it. All the trouble I went through raising you was worth it to have you bring me to Hawaii. Looking forward to the wedding. Sorry to be the bearer of bad news while you're busy celebrating, but trash like you isn't invited. What did you say? What do you mean, trash? That's no way to refer to your mother. It is when that's what you are. You don't deserve anything more than that. What kind of mother doesn't even care when her own daughter gets married and moves in with her husband? Money this, trips that. You only care about yourself and making a quick buck. You're rotten to the core. Jesse, please. That isn't true at all. I'm your mother. The only thing I want is for you to be happy. Can't you tell? Well, you have a messed up way of showing it. Because the way I see it, you just want me to get rich so I can send you more money. Well, what's so bad about that? Money makes the world go round, you know. The more money you have, the happier you are. Don't you agree? I couldn't agree less. That's a horrible way of looking at the world. When I was young and had to skip a meal because we were too poor to afford it, or when Grandma had to pay for my tuition. Sure, there were times when I wished I could afford more. See? So you agree with me after all. Money is super important. I won't deny that. Money is important. And that's exactly why you can't just leech off other people to get it. You're freeloading, money-grubbing trash. That's all you are, and that's all you've ever been. That's not true. I'm not a freeloader. I've always worked hard to make an honest buck. Don't try to hide it. How many times now have you pestered Phil trying to get him to send you money? You're shameless! I didn't even know what was going on until Phil told me not too long ago. Are you really that pathetic? Oh, you mean that old 10K? Well, as the mother of the bride, it's only natural for the husband to provide something like that, right? Only natural? Do you even know what year we're living in? What cave did you just crawl out of? Think of it like a dowry. Maybe you don't know, but weddings are expensive. I need that money to make preparations. Preparations? What preparations? You never lifted a finger to help with preparations. And if you'd actually showed up when we were supposed to meet the groom's parents, you would have heard that we specifically agreed that we'd be covering the costs of the wedding ourselves. But oh yeah, you didn't even bother to come to that anyway. Sorry. I couldn't get the time off from my part-time job. But you'd definitely be able to swing those days off for that Hawaii trip, huh? I see how it is. This is bullying. Why are you being so horrible? What part of this is bullying? I'm just telling the truth. And give back that $10,000 you took from Phil. He never should have given you that in the first place. No way. It's mine. He transferred it to me fair and square. That money is rightfully mine. Finders keepers. That's the rule. He only gave you that money because you wouldn't shut up about it, right? I knew it was strange when you kept asking for Phil's contact info when I brought him over to meet you. Even back then, you didn't have any thought besides how you could fleece him for cash. I'm not fleecing anyone. And I'm not a freeloader. How could my own daughter treat me like this? What did I do to deserve the Spanish Inquisition? Besides, we're all family now, right? Mi casa es su casa. Tu dinero es mi dinero. Family? Family? Don't you dare talk to me about family! If you don't give me that money back, I'm disowning you as my mother and you'll never hear from me again. Oh, Jessie. You're always such a child when you don't get your way. You can't disown your parents. No matter what, we'll always be related. At least I can uninvite you to my wedding. Don't come and find me. I'm putting our family portrait of Grandma in your seat. As far as I'm concerned, she's the only family I'll ever need. Will you shut up about your grandma already? It's like you never talk about anyone else. I gave birth and raised you with my own two hands. I am your mother. And don't you dare forget that. I'm glad you brought me into the world. But if you're just gonna lord that over me for the rest of my life as your sole contribution, then forget it. You've never done anything for me or anyone else but your own trashy self. The reason I have those horrible nightmares every night is all because of you. I can't believe I'm hearing this talk from my own flesh and blood. You have no respect for your elders. Fine then. If you want to disown me, then go ahead. I don't need this kind of treatment from you or anyone else. Besides, I've got the 10K now, so I don't even care. I can go to Hawaii whenever I want, and there's nothing you can do about it. Let's see how well you survive marriage without any parent to turn to. Huh. Jessie! What the heck is all this about $20,000 in reparations? Oh, good. It arrived. That's the lawsuit for the emotional and physical damage you've caused me. Lawsuit? Damages? What are you talking about? Why should I have to pay any of that? If anything, I'm the victim here. You left me behind and went to Hawaii. I should be the one suing for emotional damage you caused me. I told Phil the truth about the burn on my right hand, and he was furious. Turns out he has an acquaintance who was a lawyer, so I booked a consultation, and he said you'd be liable for the damages. A lawyer? My God, you overreact to everything. And I told you that was just an accident. You can't extort me for money because of every tiny little mistake. But it wasn't an accident, was it? You poured scalding hot water on me on purpose. You were upset about the divorce and you attacked me as a twisted way to vent your anger, didn't you? Don't try to hide it. OMG, what? I would never do something so horrible. How dare you? Show me the proof that I did that. I bet you can't. I can and I will. Ha! Yeah, right. You're just bluffing because you want your money back. Money that's rightfully mine, I should add. This is low. I can't believe you'd stoop to something like this. Go on then. This ought to be good. Were you aware that Grandma kept a diary? Huh. What are you talking about? I didn't think so. I guess it didn't come up when we were selling off her estate, so you wouldn't have found out about it. She recorded a lot of little things about her days in there, including some very interesting little details about that night. What details? What did she say? She mentioned how after you burned me, you left me alone for hours until the wound started to get infected. And only then did you call an ambulance, where I had to be rushed to the emergency room. Grandma was even so kind as to attach the medical report. Okay. So what? So, even after the wound on my hand healed, the one on my heart never did. The memories of the horrible things you did still haunt me every night and keep me from getting a good night's sleep. Every night in my dreams, you're there terrorizing me with something. No matter how many times Grandma took me to the hospital to check on my hand, the nightmares never went away. That's too bad. But what do you want me to do about it? No matter how much you cry about it, it doesn't change that it was an accident. Then why didn't you take me to the hospital right away? That's because I didn't think it was such a big deal. A wound that left this massive scar that's still here wasn't a big deal. Anyway, that's not even the full extent of the damages. There's also the time you left me out on the balcony in the middle of winter for hours until Grandma came and rescued me. All the days you never gave me a proper meal. There's more in here, too. Grandma recorded it all. What's the point in blaming me for all that now? Can't you just let bygones be bygones? Besides, if you love Grandma so much, why didn't you just go and live with her instead? Maybe if I didn't have to drag you along with me everywhere, I might have actually been able to snag a decent man for once. I tried to live with her. Multiple times, actually. But guess why I couldn't? Go on. Why do you think I couldn't live with her? I don't have the faintest clue. Because deep down I still had hope that my mother was looking out for what was best for me. Well, if you feel that way, then call off this $20,000 bill nonsense. No, it's too late for that. If you just paid back the $10,000 like I asked before, maybe I'd think about it. But garden variety trash who would use their own daughter's happiness as nothing but a stepping stone to get rich isn't fit to be anyone's parent. I'm ashamed to call you family, let alone my mother. I never want to talk to you again. Jessie! Those words hurt. Please don't say that to me. I busted my butt working 2 jobs just to provide for you, and this is the thanks I get. You know what else hurts? The burn you gave me! Besides, the reason you had to work 2 jobs in the first place was because you were such trash that Dad walked out on you. And I don't blame him. Why should I have to be so thankful? Isn't working to provide for your child the bare minimum you should be doing as a parent? OMG. First Grandma, now you're bringing even your father onto your side. I thought you hated him. This doesn't have anything to do with who's on what side. I don't care about any of that anymore. I just want to live my own life. I'm done with all these nightmares, and the only way to do that is to cut it off at the root. So much effort over a few bad dreams. It's not like they can even hurt you. If you can't get a good night's sleep, that sounds like your own fault. Don't go and blame other people for your own issues. So yeah, that $20,000, I'm sure you can pay back half right away, right? The other half you can pay back in installments when you get it. I can't. I don't have $10,000 to pay you. I spent it all on a new brand name bag. You've got to be kidding me! You already spent all of it? Ugh, should I even be surprised? Well, you've got to at least have a couple hundred of that left, right? I don't, okay. I spent the rest in one night buying all the top shelf stuff at an escort club. Honestly, thank you. For the first time in my life, I'm glad I have this giant welt on my hand. What? Why? It's all the proof I need to cut you out of my life forever. I'm gonna go to court and get myself a restraining order against you. Never come near me or my family ever again. What do you mean by that? I'm family too, aren't I? Not anymore. You've caused me nothing but pain and grief my entire life, and I'm still dealing with the fallout. From now on, the only family I need is Phil and his relatives. Don't expect any more money to ever come from me. I'm not telling you where I live, and I asked Phil to block your number. You can't do this to me. I'm your mother. I'm your mother! Respect is a two-way street. You know who doesn't treat me like a human piggy bank and actually cares about what I think as a person? Phil's mom. So pay back the damages and get out of my life forever. I told you I can't. What else do you want me to say? Guess you better pick up another part-time job like before, huh? I guess the tables really have turned. What was it you said? With the tiny amount you're making now, I'll have to start charging interest? Don't forget about everything I've done for you, okay? As long as I'm around, don't think you'll ever escape your punishment for all the pain you caused me throughout my life. After that, my mother had to work 3 part-time jobs in order to be able to pay the damages and still make enough to survive for herself. Her love for money caused her lifestyle, her friends, and even her own daughter, leaving her with nothing, scrambling to survive. Eventually, she finally called me to apologize for everything. She told me that every night she was haunted by dreams of not being able to pay back the money she owed. As usual, I knew that this was just another ploy to gain sympathy, and I told her as much. At this point, I don't know if there's anything she can say to change my mind. I hope these damage payments teach her a valuable lesson about the importance of money and family. But I'm not holding my breath for her either. I know someday she'll finish making all of the payments. But even after that, I never want to see her ever again. I'm happy living my quiet and peaceful life with Phil. Phil's parents love me as if I were their own daughter. And for the first time in my life, I finally understand what it's like to feel real parental love. I'm planning to quit my job as a caretaker in the near future. The reason for that, as you might guess, is that I found something even more important to care for. I want to make sure the new life inside me gets the love and attention I never had. Once I started carrying another life inside me, my nightmares finally began to decrease in number. I wonder if it was because I was preparing to take on my own role as a mother. Maybe my child was finding a way to take care of me. Luckily, my mother provided me with the perfect example of what not to do to raise a kid. With that in mind, I can't wait for me and Phil to be able to live our own lives and be the best parents we possibly can. Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, why not throw us a like and subscribe to the channel?